The sun was not fully awake yet. The sky was soft and pale, like it was still deciding what the day would become. In a quiet place far from noise, a man stood alone. There was no crowd, no enemy, no weapon raised. Only him. He stood still, breathing. Slowly, cold air touched his face. His mind was loud, even though the world around him was silent. This was how his days used to begin, with confusion. He wanted more from life. More control, more respect, more peace. But every morning felt the same, heavy, unclear, unfocused. He did not know it yet. But this moment would become the first step toward mastering himself. Long ago, a warrior named Miyamoto Musashi wrote a simple truth: master yourself, and you will master life itself. This story is not just about Musashi. It is about any man who feels lost inside his own mind. The man in this story was called Ryu. Ryu was not weak, but he was not strong in the way that mattered. He trained his body, he read books, he watched others succeed. Yet when pressure came, he broke. When fear appeared, he avoided it. When discipline was required, he delayed. Ryu blamed the world. He blamed his past. He blamed bad luck. But deep inside, there was a quiet voice that said, "The problem is you." That voice scared him, so he ignored it. One morning, Ryu woke up late again. The sun was already high. His heart rushed, his mind filled with excuses. "I will start tomorrow," he said. But tomorrow had already betrayed him many times. As he rushed outside, he saw an old man sweeping the ground. The old man moved slowly, calmly, with full attention on each motion. Ryu stopped. For a moment, he watched. The old man noticed him and spoke without looking up. "Why do you run every day?" The old man asked. Why, you replied, "Because I am late." The old man smiled. "No," he said, "you are late because you run." Those words stayed with Ryu. That night, Ryu could not sleep. His mind replayed his failures like broken scenes from an old film, missed chances, anger he could not control, fear that stopped him from acting. He realized something painful. He was trying to control life without controlling himself, and life was winning. The next morning, Ryu did something different. He woke up before the sun, not because he felt motivated, but because he felt tired of being weak inside. He sat on the floor and closed his eyes. At first, his thoughts attacked him: worry, doubt, old regrets. But he did not move. He simply breathed in, out, slow. For the first time, he noticed how wild his mind was. It jumped like an untrained horse. Musashi once believed that the mind must be trained like a blade, not with force, but with patience. You did not feel strong, but he felt present, and that was new days. Past you began to understand something important. Mastery does not begin with big actions. It begins with small choices. Waking up when the alarm rings, finishing one task without distraction, not reacting when anger appears. These were not heroic acts, but they were battles, and Ryu had been losing them for years now. He chose to fight them quietly one afternoon. Ru faced a test. A man insulted him in front of others. In the past, Ru would explode or walk away in shame. This time, he felt the fire rise, but he did not move. He remembered the morning silence, the breath, the stillness. He waited 3 seconds, then he spoke. Calmly, the words were simple. The crowd was confused. The insult lost its power. For the first time, Ru tasted control, and it was stronger than anger. That night, Ru wrote in a small notebook. 1. Victory today. I did not react. 1 failure today. I doubted myself. He closed the notebook. He understood that mastery was not perfection. It was awareness. Musashi never chased comfort. He chased clarity. Ryu was beginning to do the same. But growth attracts resistance. A few days later, Uru received a message. An old rival. A man who knew how to push his buttons. The message was short. Meet me. Let's see what you've become. Ru's heart tightened. Fear returned. Doubt whispered. All his new discipline felt fragile, like glass. He looked at the message. Then he looked at his reflection. He finally understood something deep. This was not about the rival. This was about himself. Would he run? Or would he stand? As the night grew quiet, Ru sat alone again. The same silence, the same breath, but a different man. He did not know how the meeting would end. He did not know if he would win, but he knew one thing, for the first time. He was not running from himself, and that was the beginning of mastery. Cliffhanger, end of part 1. The place was decided. The time was set. You stood up and stepped into the dark, not toward an enemy, but toward a test. And in the next part, his calm would be challenged in front of everyone. The night passed slowly. Ru did not sleep well. His body was tired, but his mind was awake. The message from his old rivals stayed in his thoughts like a shadow. Still, when morning came, Ru stood up. Not fast, not strong, but aware. That alone was progress. He remembered something important. Big battles are not won in one day. They are won in small moments that no one sees. Musashi believed this deeply. Before facing an enemy, a warrior must face his habits. Ru understood this now. So he made a decision. Before meeting his rival, he would master one thing first, his daily discipline. Ru started with the morning. Every day before, mornings controlled him. Noise, rush, excuses. Now, he changed one rule. He woke up and did not touch his phone. He sat on the floor, closed his eyes, and breathed. At first it felt useless. His legs hurt, his back ached, his thoughts screamed, "You are wasting time. You should be doing something important." But Ru stayed. 5 minutes, then 10, then 15. Slowly, the noise softened. Not gone, but weaker. For the first time, Ru was not chasing the day. He was meeting it. Next came work. Ru noticed something painful. He never truly focused. He jumped from task to task, always busy, never effective. So he tried something new. One task, 30 minutes, no phone, no noise, no. escape. The first day was torture. His hand reached for the phone again and again. His mind begged for distraction. He failed. Then he tried again, day by day. The urge weakened, focus became sharper, like a blade slowly polished. Musashi once said that a dull sword is dangerous. Ryu realized a distracted mind is the same. The hardest battle came with emotions, anger, pride, fear. They attacked without warning. One afternoon, someone spoke harshly to him. Why you felt the heat rise in his chest. Old habits returned. His mouth wanted to fight. His body wanted to react. But he remembered. His rule taught pause, 3 seconds, 1 breath, then choose. The moment passed, the words lost there. Power are why you felt strange. He did not win, he did not lose. He stayed in control, and that felt better then. Victory days turned into a week. Small wins added up at why you stood. Taller, his eyes were calmer. People noticed they spoke differently to him. Not louder, but with respect, yet inside. Fear waited. The meeting with his rival was coming closer. Discipline had built strength, but strength had not yet been tested. One evening, Ryu met the old man again. The man was sweeping the ground, just like before. Why you stopped. This time, Ryu said, I am not running. The old man smiled. Good, he said. Now tell me, who is your enemy? Due thoughts. My rival, he answered. The old man shook his head. No, he said softly. Your rival is only a mirror. Due did not understand. The old man continued. He reflects what you still fear inside. Those words struck deep. That night, Ryu wrote again. 1 win. I focused for 30 minutes. 1 failure. I still fear judgment. He closed the notebook. He realized discipline was not about becoming hard. It was about becoming honest. The day of the meeting arrived. It was not private. It was public, a place where many eyes would watch. Ryu felt his stomach tighten. His rival stood confidently, smiling. He spoke loudly. He joked. He tried to pull Ryu into the old game. The crowd waited. They expected anger. They expected drama, or why you stood still. He felt the fear, but he did not fight it. He breathed. He listened when he finally spoke. His voice was calm, simple, clear. The rival paused. The crowd shifted. Something had changed. ROI, you did not attack. He did not defend. He asked a question, a quiet question. The rival laughed at first, then stopped. The laughter faded. The power moved. Ryu felt it, not strength, presence. In that moment, Ryu understood Musashi's lesson. True. Control does not come from force. It comes from discipline, practiced in silence. The crowd slowly lost interest. Drama died. Why you walked away, not praised, not celebrated, but undefeated inside. That night, Ryu sat alone. The city was loud, but his mind was quiet. He knew this was only the beginning. Mastery was not a destination, it was a path, and the path demanded more. Cliffhanger, end of part 2. Ryu received another message. This one was different. No challenge, no insult, just a sentence. Next time, I won't test your calm. I will test your purpose. Ru closed his eyes. The real battle was coming. The message stayed with Ru. I will test your purpose. Those words were heavier than any insult. Ru understood something now. Anger was easy. Calm was harder. But purpose demanded truth. The next few days were quiet. Too quiet, Ru continued. His discipline, morning silence, focused work, evening reflection. From the outside, nothing had changed. But inside, a storm was building. Ru kept asking himself one question. Why do I want to master myself? At first, the answers were weak. To prove others wrong, to gain respect, to win. Each answer felt empty, like chasing smoke. One morning, while breathing in silence, Ru remembered Musashi's life. Musashi walked alone. He did not chase praise. He did not belong to crowds. He belonged to his path. Ru opened his eyes. He realized something painful. If his purpose depended on others, he would always be weak. That same day, Ru was invited to speak in front of many people. The rival was behind it. A public place. Many eyes, many opinions. Ru knew the trap. If he failed, shame would follow. If he reacted, discipline would break. Still, he accepted not to win, but to test himself. The place was loud. Voices mixed like waves. Ru stood at the center. His rival stood nearby. Smiling, the rival spoke first. Loud, confident, sharp words, dressed as jokes. The crowd laughed. Why you felt the heat rise. His chest tightened. Old fear knocked at the door. For a moment, Ru wanted to escape, to say nothing, to disappear. But he remembered. His training. He placed his feet firmly on the ground. He felt his breath. In, out, slow, the noise faded. Not outside. Inside, the rival turned to him. Say something. He said. The crowd leaned forward. Silence followed. Why you did not rush. That pause felt long, heavy, powerful. Then Ru spoke. His voice was calm, not loud, not weak. Clear. I am here to learn, he said. Laughter rose. The rival smiled, but Ru continued. Not to impress. The laughter slowed, not to fight. The crowd shifted. I am here to understand myself. Silence. The rival tried again. He attacked Ru's past, his failures, his mistakes. Old wounds reopened. Why you felt pain, real pain. But he did not hide from it. He accepted it. Yes, Ru said. I failed. The rival paused. Yes, I was weak. Whispers spread. But I am still here. The power changed. In that moment, Ru understood strategy. Musashi taught that the best move is to remove the enemy's weapon, the rival's weapon. Was shame, why you disarmed it with truth? The crowd felt it. They stopped laughing. They listened. Why you did not attack back. He did not insult. He did not defend. He simply stood in his truth. The rival grew restless. His words, lost strength. The fire burned itself out. When it was over, there was no applause, but there was respect. The rival stepped back, confused, defeated, but not by force. Ru walked away. His legs felt weak. His heart was steady. That night, Ru sat alone again. He replayed the moment, not with pride, but with clarity. He realized something important. Calm is not silence. Calm is choosing truth over fear. Why, he wrote in his notebook. One win. I did not hide. One loss. I still fear losing comfort. He paused. Comfort, that word stayed. Musashi once warned about attachment to praise, attachment to image, attachment to comfort. Ru felt it now. A new enemy, stronger than rivals. As Ru closed the notebook, a realization came. He had learned to stay calm. He had learned to face pressure, but he had not learned to let go. Cliffhanger, end of part 3. The next morning, Ru received an offer. Power, security, comfort, all. In exchange for one thing, his discipline, his path. Ru stared at the offer. This was not a public test. This was a private one, and it would decide who he truly was. The offer looked perfect. It promised comfort, safety, status, everything Ru once wanted, and that is why it scared him. Ru read the message again. Steady income, public respect, no more struggle. But there was a condition. He would stop his discipline, stop speaking honestly, stop walking his own path, not written clearly, but understood. Why you sat quietly. His mind began to argue. You deserve this. You have suffered enough. This is success. The voice sounded reasonable, dangerously reasonable. Musashi warned about this voice. It does not shout. It whispers, why you went outside. The city moved fast, people chasing comfort, people chasing approval. He had been one of them for a long time. That evening, Ru met the old man again. The man was still sweeping, always sweeping. Ru asked, if comfort comes, should I take it? The old man stopped. He leaned on the broom. Tell me, he said, what does comfort ask in return? Ru was silent. Comfort, the old man continued, asks you to sleep while awake. Those words hit hard. That night, Ru could not rest. He imagined 2 futures in one. He accepted life became easy, but his mornings were empty. In the other, he refused. Life stayed hard, but his eyes were clear. The second future frightened him more, and that told him the truth. Musashi believed attachment weakens the warrior. Attachment to comfort, attachment to praise, attachment to identity. Why you saw his attachments clearly now. He wanted to be admired. He wanted to feel safe. He wanted to stop struggling. None of these were wrong, but they could control him. The next day, Ru accepted the meeting, not to agree, but to listen. The room was quiet, polite, smiles, careful words. They spoke of opportunity, of image, of influence. Ru listened closely. Every sentence carried a leash. Finally, they asked him, "Will you join us?" Ru felt his heart race. Fear returned not. Fear of failure, fear of loss, loss of comfort, loss of approval, loss of ease. He remembered his morning, rituals, the silence, the breath, the honesty. He spoke slowly. "I cannot trade my discipline," he said. The room changed. Smiles faded. Pressure rose. "You are making a mistake," they said. Yu nodded. "Maybe," he replied, "but it will be my mistake." He walked out, the door closed behind him. The city felt louder. The future felt uncertain, but his chest felt light that night. Ru sat alone, no applause, no support, only silence and doubt. Strong doubt. He questioned himself. Was I proud? Was I foolish? Musashi taught that doubt is part of the path. The key is not to obey it. Days passed. Life became simpler, fewer comforts, more clarity. You noticed something unexpected. He needed less, and in needing less, he felt stronger. One morning, Ru found a small package at his door. Inside was a folded paper. Old worn dot on it were simple words: "Let go or be dragged." Below the words was a rough map. Incomplete, unclear, Yu. Understood that this was the next test. Not of strength, not of calm, but of surrender. He packed lightly, left comforts behind. No promises, no safety, only practiced as he stepped forward. Ru felt fear, but also excitement. Not the loud kind, the quiet kind, the kind that means growth. Cliffhanger, end of part 4. The map led away from the city, toward silence, toward a final lesson. You did not know what waited there, but he knew one thing: to master life. He must now master letting go. The road was quiet, no noise, no crowd, only Ru. And the sound of his steps. The map led him away from comfort, away from praise, away from the life he once wanted, and closer to the life he needed. The journey was not long, but it was heavy, not on the body, on the mind, without distraction. Ru faced himself fully. Every fear, every regret, every excuse. They walked beside him like shadows. As the sun lowered, Ru reached a quiet place, a small clearing in the center. A simple stone, nothing special, no power, no beauty, just a stone. On it were carved a few words, bold, faded, still strong. Make each day your lesson. Ru sat in front of the stone. He waited for something to happen. A sign, a voice. Nothing came, only silence. Then he understood. There was no final secret, no hidden technique. This was the truth Musashi lived by. Mastery is daily, quiet, unseen. You stayed there until night. He breathed. He reflected. He remembered his path, the confusion, the anger, the fear, the discipline, the letting go. Each step had shaped him. When Ru returned to the city, nothing looked different, but he was. He no longer chased control. He practiced it. He no longer feared life. he met it, or why you built simple rituals, not rules, rituals, in the morning. He woke early, he breathed, he chose one important task, only one in the eye. Day, he paused, before reacting, before speaking, he chose response over emotion. At night, he reflected, one lesson, one mistake, one win, nothing more. Weeks passed, then months. Ru became steady, not perfect, but grounded. Problems still came, pain still appeared, but they no longer controlled him. One day, a young man approached Ryu, lost, restless, angry. At life, you saw himself in him. The young man asked, "How do I win?" Ru paused, then smiled softly. "Win what?" he asked. The young man had no answer. Ru did not teach loudly. He did not preach. He showed through calm, through action, through discipline. That was his legacy. You remembered Musashi's words again. Master yourself, and you will master life itself. He finally understood. Mastery was not domination. It was alignment. Mind, action, purpose, life. Continued. Some days were hard. Some days were quiet. But each day was lived, fully present. Ryu sat one morning as the sun rose, just like the first day. The world was silent. His mind was clear. He breathed, not to escape life, but to enter it. This was not the end of his journey. It was the beginning of a way of living, a way anyone could follow. One breath, one choice, one day at a time. Final message to the audience. Narrator: you do not need to fight the world. You need to master yourself. Your habits, your reactions, your attachments do that. And life will no longer control you. You will walk with purpose. Clear, unbreakable.